Hello. Hey, how you doing, guys? Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. And this is Geek Mythos podcast with another episode of Loki. We're going to talk about Loki episode 2. I did not watch this week's Superman and Lois. We're not going to talk about that because we're supposed to talk about it together. And then we're going to talk about what did we say in the beginning?
Loki.
Um no, other than Loki. We said it right before Loki too.
Oh, we were talking about the possibilities of who's the characters that the big reveal of the female Loki in the second episode, who it might be.
No. It was right before that.
Um,
I don't remember. It was a tangent that we got on. Cool, but did you know that Liberty Mutual customizes? I hate you, Glock Boy. What's up, Glock Boy? How you doing?
where were
Did you
we?
know that
I got
15%?
lost. Damn. What were we talking about? See, this is why we need to leave it for the podcast. We can't
JJ
talk and have
Westbrook.
background
All
conversation.
right. Anyways, so Loki episode 2, heavy spoilers because we're gonna get right into it. So there was an Easter egg that I picked up, dude, and it was the moment when Owen Wilson's character was in the meeting with hi, I'm salty. Hi, I'm Pepper. When Owen Wilson's character was in the office with the judge, the lady, right? And so they're talking and they're saying, "Ah, yes, you're my second in command, like second detective, because she has another field agent, right?" So when
Yeah.
he's signing the papers, he turns and he realizes the pen. The pen says Franklin D. Roosevelt High School. Now, there's a
Yeah.
character in the comics that's only gone to that, and that character is Molecule Man.
Hmm.
So, Molecule Man, for those who don't know, is a character that has been in Secret Wars, I believe it was Secret Invasion as well, but Secret Wars as well. And what he does is his power, he can literally travel the multiverse. And
Which
he
is
has,
interesting because we've been throwing a lot of Easter eggs and it always led to a dead end. Kind of
that's
like
true.
when this girl's character in WandaVision when she said she was going to meet up with an engineer, and we
It
were
wasn't the
thinking like
one
it
we
could have been
thinking.
Franklin Richards, but it would have been highly impossible because nobody was cast. We was thinking that it was going to be Blue Marvel, but nobody. But we still haven't even got that reveal yet because we don't know who her best friend is because nobody
Mm-hmm.
popped up. So I don't know. It could be possible, but I feel like he's one of those characters that are like kind of slightly small into the whole Marvel universe
Well,
perspective
that's
of
the
things.
thing because he's more in connected with the Fantastic Four and especially Reed Richards' son,
Yeah,
Franklin. So it's huge. I think this is a character where we could see him possibly in. I don't know if they want to make Fantastic Four a movie or a series yet. I think it's trying to go for a movie right now, but I don't know. But to bring in Molecule Man and then bring in, because they're trying to do also Young Avengers. So
yeah,
we don't know if that's a possibility, which I think it would be cool. And to see like let's say Fantastic Reed Richards and Sue Storm kind of like be the Fantastic Four and already have kids, that would also be huge. Because I could see that
mm,
also with the Young Avengers. And then with Molecule Man, I mean, there was a thing in the comics. I don't know what arc it was, but basically he can. So the Beyonders are basically kind of like the creation. They created the Marvel multiverse.
yeah,
And it was a wormhole where he accidentally created, and he basically went into these the Marvel multiverse, and that's
yeah.
where they also wanted to go to. But on Earth there exists a Molecule Man. So I forgot how he intertwined also when it was, I think it was Secret Wars, when Doctor Doom basically took the powers of who was it? Damn it. He became a Sorcerer Supreme, didn't he?
Cool. Doctor Doom and Doctor Strange.
Yes, where in the comic where he basically grabs Thanos in his spine, just like obliterates him.
Yeah, he ends up
He's
killing him.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
all
yeah,
dressed
yeah.
in
Which
white.
is amazing, by the way. I picked that up. I'm trying to help my friend do the Easter eggs on okay, zombies because he didn't know how to do it, but we have brain dead randoms. I haven't seen the Easter egg. I know it's easy to do though. I was watching TikTok, but I don't know anything. I haven't been on any of the zombie games, any of the maps after the first one that they dropped on Black Ops. So I don't know. But Zombie Chronicles 2, I think, is going to come out for Black Ops. So that'll be interesting and a good package to pick up later on during this year. We shall see. So going back to Loki, yeah, Molecule Man. Nobody nobody's talking about it, which is insane because then again, theories went crazy with WandaVision and also Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, I mean it's usually a red herring. There's always like Easter eggs thrown out into the entire show because
Right.
they could do that and have people believe it. And I think that's just like how the show works. Like, hey, let's throw things around. And
Yeah.
then they'll start to be like, holy crap, yo, that means this guy's gonna be there. And then it's gonna be like 6 episodes and the character never pops up. But you could see the one thing that no one seems to be talking about, and it's like obvious that you could see that they keep not mentioning who the characters' names, because Loki keeps saying space lizards. They saying like it's the time what is it? The time, what are they called? The
Time
three
Master,
thing?
not Time Masters. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. And you could see that one of them, the guy in the middle, obviously looks just like Jonathan Majors, who's playing Khan the Conqueror.
Yeah, I was also thinking that. I was like, wait, so does he stem from these guys or what? And then I believe he's in
Because
related
he's
he
gonna be in Quantum Mania.
yes.
So that means this possibility, this might kind of connect with Ant-Man and the Wasps. Maybe. But then again, the actor said that he doesn't know when they asked him like he was gonna appear in Loki. He says he told him like, I don't know what you guys talking about. So everybody has to keep it in a hush hush.
Born on Earth 6311 in the 30th century, Nathaniel Richards, who will later become known as Kang the Conqueror, discovered a part of a time machine left on his namesake and ancestor from Earth 616, a man who brought peace to the young Nathaniel's world as the benefactor. I forgot about that.
Which is another thing that's pretty interesting if you think about it, because he's a descendant of Reed Richards. So that idea, it's pretty interesting, because remember when they were giving the Avengers cartoon, the first ones that came out
Yes.
before Marvel bought the rights,
Uh,
before Disney bought the rights.
Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
And there was that episode that Khan the Conqueror was trying to go after Captain America, and he was from the future.
Yeah.
Imagine the idea that this man is from the future, created the technology was created at advance, and they became what Loki calls space lizards, and sort of started controlling the timeline. And just that idea that these characters are not even from the future, but an advanced age, and then now they're able to control time or fix it, or they could do
Yeah, it's very
things on it.
interesting on how they want to do that. They don't want to branch out on other alternative timelines because
I I
does that
also
mean because that will affect also themselves?
the thing that kind of annoys me is this. I'm curious about Ant-Man and the Wasp. I'm now knowing that Khan the Conqueror is going to be an Ant-Man and the Wasp makes me think like how such a character is so powerful, to control armies and a whole bunch of things, and it's like he's in an advanced age and time, are gonna fight is gonna be an Ant-Man and the Wasp. You know, like he feels like a Thanos level character.
Right.
You know, to Adam and Ant-Man and the Wasp, but and then we might just be getting little pieces of him in the TVA and in Loki. Because he looks just like him. Even in those drawings when they do the cartoons, like they start to show
Yeah,
this
yeah,
thing,
yeah.
he looks just like him.
Because he also has that type of like not helmet, but like
Yeah,
face, like a square face that he had. Yeah, I've noticed.
yeah.
Um,
Which is also funny because he was in Lovecraft Country. Jonathan Majors, who's playing Khan the Conqueror, and Wunmi Mosaku is also in Loki, which she's also been in Lovecraft Country, and she plays the she's the cop. She's the black cop that's like was like saying, yeah, let me check on Loki,
right,
because and he was like, yeah, he's better off with me than with you,
right, right, right.
and then she ends up getting like her ass handed to her.
Yeah, yeah. Indeed,
All
she
right,
does.
so let's bring up that whole how that how it could be Enchantress.
So in the comics, it turns out that I can't say her name in Trantress. In I can't
Whose
say that.
character's name? Enchantress's name?
Interest. Yes, I forgot her fucking. I think it started with an L.
I need to start carrying my encyclopedia. It's all the way over there on my shelf.
Trantress, Incantress. I really can't say it. Oh, I thought it was no. Yeah, Sylvia Lushton. Or 616. So Sylvia Lushton was an average girl living in the Bronxton until Asgardians moved their home from Asgard to Oklahoma. Not long after, Sylvie woke up one day with magical powers. Beknownst these powers were given to her by Loki for yet unknown purposes. With her new powers, Sylvie moved to New York City to become a superhero and join the Avengers. She chose to take on the name and style of the Amora, the Enchantress. I can't say that. And speaking in Falk's Asgardian manner. However, Loki later, when Loki personally explains Sylvie's existence, he states that he likes the idea of creating a mortal that suspects she is one of the Asgardians. So it assumes that she was in fact never alive until she was created by Loki. Her entire existence and memories perhaps being part of this. Interesting. That's interesting. Um, there was a thing where creating timelines and going to other places, and using the apocalyptic type of events in different parts of the universe, especially Earth.
So she can
Um,
hide.
does
Yeah.
this mean that Loki somehow implanted some things in the MCU that we haven't realized that we're going to see for future movies? Because
He
that can
escaped.
because remember in Dark World with that freaking beast that comes out of nowhere
Yeah.
that gets left behind and like it's forget, like they could go back and like fix that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they could fix some
Only
things that
but
we haven't
only
seen.
if he knows about that time, because right now he has no idea what happened. He only got to see what happened to like his mom and how he died, his friendship, like sort of getting his relationship, fixing his relationship with Thor. So he doesn't get to see a lot of what he only got to see a little bit of what he would have experienced if he didn't disappear. So I don't know what he can change, but I mean, it was said that Kevin Feige did say that it would change the MCU. So it's like it's not like he affected anything now. Like
Not yet.
yeah, that at some point there's gonna be some changes.
Right.
You know, like he could just bring in character. They could bring characters back. You know, like if they decide to. You know, I don't know. Like it's possible, but it's you remember he's supposed to be like you know she's hiding in like post like apocalyptic events in order for her not to be found because there's nothing for her to change in those because it gets destroyed by whatever ending it is.
Mm-hmm.
But imagine the massive ending that probably Thanos caused,
There was a
or
Doctor Who.
Titan being destroyed, or certain things.
I could go to tie-in.
Also, check out right now in Google and see because that's one thing I should have remembered. I should have gotten that. The TV screen in the second episode, it was saying the places that were being in check.
Oh yeah, I was trying to get that. I was trying to Google like there was an event. It said 1943 in New York City, September something. There was nothing that day. I'm like, what the
Mm.
hell happened?
It's probably just events that. Well, what if
Wait,
what if the
1943
events that
wasn't
took
that
place
Captain
are
America?
actually like? Yeah, you're gonna have to Google Marvel Comics 1940. No, comics weren't around at that time. I mean, not Marvel.
Yeah. 1938 was Superman. 1943 1930
Yeah,
1940.
yeah, yeah. So what would have happened around that time? First appearance of Loki?
Yeah, could probably be. Actually, yeah, I think it could probably be the
So Marvel 1943, you said? 1943?
yeah, yeah.
Let me see. Marvel 1943.
There's nothing on my side. Hold up.
1943 database. Let's see what we got. All right.
it was September.
Yeah, 1943 is mostly like old school comics back then.
Yeah.
Like Captain America, first story, third story, Human Torch stories, Marvel Mystery Comics.
Young Allies, USA Comics, Terry Toon Comics, Submariner, is Namor. But I don't see anything really that has to do with that. But again, like there were some events that I was like, I don't think I've seen this, and that never really happened. So I think it's mostly events that happen in Marvel comics. Probably most likely could be callbacks to other just like small little Easter eggs for
Yeah.
those type of comics. Just like what they do, like all the time. There was something I needed to point out, but I forgot. I lost my train of thought. Give me a minute. But going back, they use a lot of the when they plant the thing after the investigation or the crime scene. What's the thing that they use? The reboot time?
It resets time. Yes,
Yeah, they use that a lot. Jesus Christ.
they do. But she is going to whatever she did, she's gonna reset a whole bunch of moments in time, which causes the timeline to screw up to a massive scale. Because when you see it when it's in TVA, you start to see the timeline and everything starts to scatter,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
branches out. So wherever those things are landing, it's just clearing stuff up. I'm just wondering if she's clearing stuff up from the present, or I mean, because if it's let's say if it's Loki and it's not Enchantress, then maybe she knows more about what happens in her past or Loki's
Hmm.
past to try to like affect that from change or from anything to happen. You
What?
okay? He
Oh,
sneezed. I think snot came out of him.
ew.
There's a tissue right there. Get the tissue. It's right over there. Why are you using your hoodie? It's fine. Get the tissue. Not that one. Get the paper tissue. I don't want you to use the wipes.
Kids have them. I'm just kidding. Um. So yeah, I don't know where I was gonna go with that. They, I thought honestly that one of them was going to explode the TVA. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. But yeah, going to different timelines and then just creating all these things. I think they were like, well, I don't even know. I was gonna say 24, but I could be wrong. I didn't count the lines.
Yeah.
And then I don't even think the TV monitor said anything about like any years because we kept going back and forth with a lot of these. The place that they used to market Rocks on Cart. It was placed a lot on like Daredevil comics. And the creation, I believe, of was it Wolverine?
Mm.
I could be wrong. Not Wolverine. It's something else, but it was similar to one of those types of things. Late night Jose, baby. Yes, sir. Adam. Yes, sir. How you doing, buddy? Um, you good? How was your stream today? Oh wait, forgot you did. Sorry, sorry. Um, I forgot what else that Roxanne thing was for, but it's just mainly for a tool today. Well, for that episode. I wonder what we're gonna see the next episode, and I want to you because there was a part in the trailers before that he becomes president. That was a thing in the comics too. That was huge. And we might see Jane Foster. Oh, from what I've heard,
Mm. I
because
think if they show anything, it might be just flashbacks. I don't know about them bringing in like the actual actors to play certain roles
well,
in the
because they
scene. I
got to
mean,
bring back Love and Thunder, the Love and Thunder thing, because, um, so the theory is that Jane Foster, there's no Mjolnir, right?
no,
That was
at the
destroyed,
moment, no,
but
because
there was a
Steve took it back.
art leak that she has Mjolnir and that Stormbreaker's there. So Thor's
Yeah,
holding Stormbreaker and she's holding Mjolnir. And then there's what's her name? Emma Thompson's character, the Valkyrie. She's there in one picture. But the thing is, like, how does she have Mjolnir if it was destroyed? So what if Loki or the multiverse of madness, something happens within that it's Jane Foster from Dark World that gets the hammer and then is in the same universe with Thor at that time, which is a possibility. Plain Rust found a great secret. What's the secret? Did you get like more cash or something? Secret. I didn't even know there was a secret. That was just survival games.
you know, it would have been great if one of the if one of the Loki variants was Matt Damon. You know how he was Loki in
Yeah,
and when they show
in
that
the
would be
theater.
so
Yeah,
funny.
yeah,
Just
that was
Matt
really
Damon popping
hilarious.
up with long hair, just like when they were showing the little holograms of the different Lokis, just to have the one that's like the Matt Damon.
Oh yeah.
That would have been funny to
Those
see.
holograms look freaking cool. Like the concept arts. I
Yeah,
think it
I
was
know.
one of them. He
The
was like a
beast
freaking
monster
beast.
one was pretty funny looking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was funny. I like it.
Yeah, I the thing is this that that character like the way that Loki has magic abilities, but he's never been able to do something like that to touch someone and then sort of put their consciousness inside that person.
True.
So it's kind of weird that she's able to do it. And if she's supposed to be Loki, then Loki should have that ability as well. So I don't know. I don't think it's Loki. And even though there is a female Loki in the series, I think she's acting. I don't know. Maybe she set things up for one. I think she set certain things up
What do you mean?
somehow for Loki to be the one to help the TVA out, and then you know Owen Wilson's character telling him Mobius, telling him, "Oh, we're looking for a variant. It's you." You know, so it's kind of strange. It's like they, I don't know. Maybe she's pretty smart that she's actually like she set all that up somehow.
We have yet to see, man. We have yet to see.
But
I
anyway,
don't know.
the thing is about timelines. It's just it drives me crazy, and it's like if
The
it's not
thing with
done right, then it
timelines,
starts to create plot holes throughout the entire series.
here's the thing with the timelines, bro. It's fiction. We don't know if that's real or not. You know what I'm saying? So people
Yeah,
like try to like. It's hard. It's difficult to say what type of timeline is right. The way that they did it was in the MCU was what's it called? The Trunks theory in Dragon Ball Z, right? Where they go back and then they place them all together and everything,
yeah,
but they don't really change the future, or they don't change the past to fix the future or anything like that.
yeah. It
Um,
still happens anyway, regardless of
right.
it didn't change
But
anything.
then what happened to the Thanos that was supposed to be in 2014 or 2000, yeah, 2014, in a timeline that they took him out of, because he was in 2012. Oh, it wasn't 2012. It was the same year that Guardians of the Galaxy came out, right? What happened to
Yeah,
that Thanos and what happened to that MCU timeline? So does it
yeah,
drift or does it not? You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Because
He
that
went
also doesn't
into.
get explained. So does that create a new timeline?
See, but the thing is, since the TVA knows
That was
the
supposed to happen.
consequences or knows like what would happen, that's why I don't think the TVA would have stopped Thanos from entering to another time. It's like he was going to die. It was going to get fixed on its own. There's no reason for them to interfere if Thanos was going to die on in the heat of that entire battle. All that was going to get demolished and destroyed.
Right, but then if he dies there, then then the Thanos that snaps his fingers shouldn't exist, which means it creates a paradox.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. So is it supposed to be like that, or is that a new timeline, or is it the Trunks theory and then there are two different timelines, so then the TVA got it wrong? What the fuck? You know what I'm saying?
and got
The
nothing.
biggest plot hole in the fucking
No, yeah,
movie.
no. It's. The funny thing is, there's a lot of plot holes in the entire in the Marvel Cinematic. Once they started doing the whole time travel thing, that's when everything just went into like into a pot like a plot hole just opened up, and it's just like swallowed the entire Marvel universe completely. Now it's like trying to figure things out on like how does everything work. I don't know. It's just it's weird to me because it's I'm hoping that at some point the Loki, this Loki series starts to sort of fix things a little. Because I mean, even Loki tried to throw Captain America. Who did he try to throw under the bus? And then he comes out and said, "Yeah, that was supposed to happen." Was it Captain America?
I think so.
It was somebody he ended up mentioning in the first season because he was in the TVA, and then he was trying to throw him under the bus, and he was like, "Yeah, that was supposed to happen."
Oh, Tony. I think it was Tony.
Yeah, because they ended up going through time to try to get all these things. But then the thing is that Doctor Strange saw that timeline way before everybody else. So they knew how things were going to work. So it's like knowing that Doctor Strange probably saw all of that happen, would and knowing that that's what they had to do, he knew that it wouldn't affect the timeline or screw things up with the TVA. Like he knew a lot of what was going on. It's kind of crazy how everything is working. Hopefully, and like I said, I hope Loki kind of like tells us more about how timelines work, because they're using it too many. They're using it to like to explain. They better explain a lot of shit, because they're using it to explain other shit that's just not making sense to me.
I mean, they might touch on it, and I think they will touch on it
Yeah,
because what if the TVA went back into time with I'm gonna bring this shit back up with the Thanos that was supposed to be in Guardians of the Galaxy, when he takes Nebula's thing. What if they reset that timeline? But then the event still happens to the MCU, so I guess it wouldn't matter. I don't know. They really gotta fix that shit because that's the biggest thing.
yeah. I
That's the
wouldn't be
biggest plot hole of like
Yeah,
the
I wouldn't
MCU
be
right now.
surprised if most of the stuff
A lot of
was,
people aren't talking about it.
was reset when they came into certain areas of the timeline that
Right,
was
right,
happening to
right,
the
right,
Avengers. Like, let's put this here and then just fix that up. But it's like, was Thanos supposed to come?
right.
But that's what they were expecting. That's what Doctor Strange was expecting, and the only way to stop the events from happening. But
Again, timelines and time and space, man. It fucking boggles my mind of when they do that. Um, I didn't really think the Marvel Cinematic Universe was going to go to that extent because DC uses it a lot, a
I think it's
lot.
the idea. It's like the idea, since the multiverse exists, timelines aren't often straight. Because if there was no such thing as the multiverse, then I think the timelines would have been, they would have to like figure things out. But because of the multiverse, anything could come out through any part. It could be a plot hole about something. They could just throw a freaking character out of the blue from a multiverse just to fix it. It's weird. But it's the season is still young, so we got to second season,
Second
and
episode.
let's see what's gonna happen to Loki, because now he's gonna be going through traveling, and he's gonna be going after her, see what's up.
Can't wait to see that. President Loki. That's a good Easter egg that they dropped on the trailer for an old comic that they did in like 2000
I can't wait. I want to see
or
all these things.
2008. It was 2008. Um, yeah. So can't wait for this next episode, man. It is exciting. I love what Marvel's doing, man. From WandaVision to like bringing it grounded to Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and now let's raise the stakes again. So we go back into like the multiverse and everything. I mean the timelines and everything, especially with Loki. Funny, yo, and the way that Loki and was it Mobius?
Yeah.
Mobius are interacting. I freaking love it. Love it.
Yeah, no, I enjoy the
I'm
the
enjoying
the
it.
the
Yeah.
the banter and all
Yeah.
that stuff, and
Yeah.
just the little comedic moments that is just genius. What was the part when he started crying and the Asgard Ragnarok? He started. Oh man, like that. You could see it, like it was like close up, and then you see the tear in his eye, and then it says like Ragnarok, like 16,000 and something people died, and all that stuff. It's just it's
God
crazy to
damn it,
think.
Tom
And then,
Hiddleston.
yeah, and it's crazy to think that the entire planet got destroyed and not a lot of people survived that event.
Right.
And then also the idea when that ship took the people that they were able to save got destroyed too.
Mm-hmm.
And there was only a few that was saved, because and then they did the new Asgard
Right.
at some point. But you need to explain to me where all the rest of these other people came from.
So there's a big so there's a thing I saw a video and it was a great video. So this girl found out that Mobius was actually named after Tony Stark because Tony Stark, when he created that a limited thing to go back into time, he
Yeah,
named it Mobius. Mobius something. I forgot.
yeah.
So that was a good homage to the character
Hmm.
Mobius. Now I don't know if Owen Wilson's character Mobius is a new character or anything like that, but it was a good thing. It was a good homage. Good nod, good nod to the character
Hmm.
and to Tony Stark. With that being
Uh,
said, I have nothing else to say about Loki.
no, there's really nothing else to say. It's just a lot of speculation, and it's to be honest, it's giving us the WandaVision vibe of
Yeah,
all the Easter eggs and what's going on. The whole, because now this is before WandaVision was just was sort of magical and spiritual, witches and all that stuff. The Winter Falcon and the Winter Soldier is more grounded in what's happening down here in the bottom. Now we're like in space right now, or not even, because if you think about it, they're not really in space. They're in an area that's not even, in some way, nobody would believe it exists,
kind of
because
like the Void.
yeah, it's a place where no one knows that it exists. Like, it just,
The Eternals don't
once you
even
go
know,
there, you're gonna get killed. If
right?
you somehow escape to get out of that place, and you tell people, hey, there's this like TVA thing where there's time travel, so it's like, yeah, it's like it's a void, like you said.
It's a Void.
No
Yeah,
one
it's
knows
crazy.
about it.
Knows about not even the Eternals, not the Avengers. So for Loki to know, that's crazy. I don't know if he's going to get reset. I don't know if he's going to somehow have free will. It's interesting because it you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of like Doctor Who. Remember the episode when Clara, spoilers, when Clara dies, and then in the next episode, no, after the episode where he breaks from that little prison that goes on forever. I think it was like a billion years or something like that he's in. Remember? The amazing episode. He goes into he finds out it's Gallifrey. The president got him stuck in there, breaks free, and he gets Clara right at the second before she dies, um to basically be alive for that moment. Do you remember? It kind of feels like that a little bit. Just a little bit. Even though it's far off from where when he dies, it's still it kind of feels like that because then it's like, oh, so then he kind of survives, has this type of detective type of thing for a while, and then what, he goes back and he dies or something like that, or I don't know. That's kind of like the question in mind right now. Did I just
I
fuck
think
with
he's
you?
gonna probably investigate this entire situation that's happening. It's I don't know, because it's whether or not he's just gonna do evil shit, or is he going to figure out what's going on with her. Well, he's gonna have to figure out what's going on with her and why she's doing all these things.
It's
Because they
true.
can't be like, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore and stuff like that. But there's got to be something.
Yeah.
That's what they're
Okay.
called, timekeepers.
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 There you go.
Yeah.
Wow. I think a lot
But I
of
remember,
listeners
because of
would
the
probably fucking
conversation he
hate
was
it.
trying to have, and it's like, hey, if things work out, we could get you into talking to the timekeepers. Is what, you could get me in the door with the timekeepers?
Yeah. Um. Did you watch? Did you watch the recent episode of Bad Batch?
No, I've missed most of the episodes of Bad Batch.
Okay.
I gotta.
So we can't talk about that. Can't talk about
Yeah.
Superman and Lois. Was there something else that came out? No, right?
No.
Yeah,
There's
nothing.
we've been yeah. Dude was just
Well,
talking about Loki. We didn't get to see Superman. Well, you didn't get to see
I didn't get
Superman
to
and
see it.
Lois, and I haven't been seeing the Bad Batch. I kind of want to see it like when it starts to sort of like get into, like sort of watch it back to
Right,
back.
right.
Because watching it episode by episode and kind of getting disappointed by it and not really feeling the Star Wars vibe coming out of it is mostly just them going from place to place. They're like
Well,
vagabonds.
last week, because we didn't talk last week. Last week's episode was good. This week's episode was good too.
Mm.
And they dropped a character that I did not even expect that they were gonna drop. So yeah, that's a really good episode. This episode. Can't wait to see more of the character that they dropped. We'll say that. Um, I think we're gonna. It was crazy because the composers of the music that they did for Clone Wars, the two guys that they did, that they composers, they
Yeah.
dropped that hint. They were like, "Can't if you liked last week's episode, gotta wait till this week." And I was like, "Oh boy, did we get something?"
Mm.
Because I was like, "What?" It blew my
Yeah.
mind.
Um,
But I won't say anything else on it.
they had a variety interview with Pedro Pascalina, who played the Mandalorian, who plays the Mandalorian, and Ewan McGregor,
Oh
and they were
yeah,
talking about, yeah, you seen it? They
yeah,
were talking about how it were like the difference between how when he was doing episode 1, 2, and 3, and the differences what he's doing with Obi-Wan, and how they're going different places instead of dealing with the green screen and all that stuff. Now he feels like there's a lot of money being thrown down and a lot of sets and everything is getting, and it's pretty interesting because it was like now it feels they're putting money on it and making it big the way it needs to be.
I mean, that's
That's what the
good.
same thing that I think they did with the last Star Wars
Again,
movies.
Star Wars before they didn't have that much of a budget that they have now. Now they had budget to go to places like they went. I forgot where they went
Yeah,
for
but
Tatooine stuffs.
episode 4, 5, and 6 was, was not even done because there wasn't that, green screen wasn't, the technology back then wasn't freaking crazy. So a lot of the stuff had to be done like with sculptures and little statues of things, and the Death Star was hanging
Right,
by a
right, right,
rope.
right. It was all
The desert
small but
scenes were
low.
actually around a desert.
Right.
So it was like everything was done like that. And then watching episode 1, 2, and 3,
So much
they
green
had to do it.
screen.
Everything was
Green.
like done on green screen, and not a lot of stuff was done like on the ground with
Right.
like big sets.
Yeah.
Some of them were we had big sets. I remember when they were doing the making of the first season during that time when TRL was out on freaking MTV. They were talking about how they did the people that were watching the pod races,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a whole bunch of Q-tips with colors. So
Uh,
there were Q-tips and they had little colors, so they consider like there's a whole bunch of different people, and that's how they did like those people, and how they did that set. And it was like a small little like set,
right.
and showing like how the camera passing around, showing like there was a whole bunch of people, and I was like, that's pretty cool. And I remember even during that time, because when they was talking about it on MTV, a lot of famous people went to go see it. And at Lucas Ranch, episode 1. And I remember it was funny that Ozzy Osbourne, out of all people that went there, like Kevin Smith and all the other actors and everybody, Ozzy Osbourne was the only one that said this that made a lot of sense. It's like, how is it that 4, 5, and 6 takes place into the future of episode 1, 2, and 3, but episode 1, 2, and 3 has more advanced technology? And I was like, Ozzy Osbourne, you're the one that actually was capable of actually putting that together. It's like you're dyslexic.
Because yeah, that's true.
So yeah, it was pretty interesting because the technology was a little bit more.
But
It
if you
would have
think of,
been more advanced in the
but
four, five,
they
and
had
six.
to fix that too, because if you think about it, if you really think about it, the Empire basically collected all of the money, and with what they did, like if you think about it, Rebels, it kind of looked like they didn't really have that much. Because they
Mm,
were always trying to get some cargoes, they were always trying to get some stuff, equipment and stuff like that. But when it was like 1, 2, and 3, it looked really high tech and everything.
yeah,
You see the old, you basically see old ships in like Rebels, and you also think about the old ships in like, you know, 7, 8, 9.
I can't wait for the Obi-Wan series.
You
I kind of want to see what the Jedi's were dealing with after Revenge of the Sith.
I don't know if they're gonna go to old. I don't know if they're gonna do a movie or a series of the Old Republic. Have you seen
Mm,
any of the trailers of the Old Republic in like in the game that they done? I think I was on PC. You gotta look at the trailers, because the way that they kind of depicted the Old Republic, it looks way more advanced than what we seen in 2, 3, and 1, 2, and 3, because it's just like beautiful.
mm.
It's really like, I was like, what? How is this more? How is the technology like so goddamn advanced to advance what we think is
Yeah,
like 1, 2, and 3 to like 4, 5, and 6? Like, why am I getting the ship out of a swamp? You know what I mean?
yeah,
I don't know. It's funny. It's funny how Star Wars is, but it's funny how Ozzy picked that up too. That's crazy. That's hilarious. I didn't
yeah.
expect that
So
one.
yeah, so I mean, I honestly I can't wait for the Obi-Wan. I want
Can't
to
wait for
see
that one too. I
how.
can't wait for, and they haven't even shot Mandalorian season 3 yet.
Oh, there. What did he say? Did he say they were shooting yet? I
No,
think he asked him if he was doing season 3.
no, they're not doing it yet. Or I think they're in production, like about to be, or something like that.
Yeah. But right now they
Um,
already what they said that the Mandalorian might appear or is gonna appear in the Boba Fett show.
yeah, yeah.
They
Well,
said
I
he's
forgot
gonna
about the
appear.
Boba Fett show too. I think they're
Yeah.
working on the Boba Fett and then Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Crazy. I can't believe he's back too. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's really cool because he was a loved character, and it's probably because you barely saw him. He was
It
always in the background,
it
and then when
was,
he popped up and he was doing a lot of crazy shit, all of a sudden he gets swallowed by the ground, and
yeah.
then he was like, you don't hear from him.
But it wasn't
So
even that. It was also I think it was the Clone Wars love that they needed to have also to see him back screen. You know what I mean?
yeah, and it's a sort of it also give him an origin, because when you
Oh
see it
yeah,
in the
Boba. Yeah.
movie, it's
Like, who the hell is
he's
this guy? He's a bounty hunter. He looks cool though, but who the fuck is this?
yeah,
Yeah. Then you learn, oh yeah, he was the son of the clone, and then they had clones and everything. And then you get to see the show, and you're just like, oh my god, can't believe that one guy does all the voices for all the clones. On top of that, I don't know if he's getting paid money or he's just getting paid for one paycheck. Kind of like when Michael Rosenbaum was talking to Tom Welling when he was like, dude, I get to play two types of Lexus. Like, I get two characters. That means double the money.
yeah.
And then Tom's like, no, that's not how it works. You're an actor. You get paid for one.
It's true.
Oh
Yeah, but
man.
voice actors don't really go and make as much as they do.
No,
It's
but
kind of crazy.
this guy should be getting banked though.
Yeah.
Got Bad Batch, they Clone Wars. And he does a lot of range. He has a range of voices that he doesn't clone. But I
Yeah.
think the other guy that did Yoda also does have a whole range.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I would like to see. I want to know what they're gonna. I mean, they already. They said that Hayden Christensen is gonna be in it, so it's cool to see that we're gonna probably see some, Darth Vader.
Mm,
Oh, something that came up. They said that, and I don't know how this is gonna work. Hopefully, it will make sense when we see the movie. Black Widow takes place in between Civil War and Infinity Wars.
Black
Infinity
Widow
Wars.
takes.
Her timeline. That's what it takes place in between those. That's a lot of movies right there.
Yeah.
It was what, Civil Wars. Well, technically, the ones that were grounded was Civil War. Then after that, um, there was Thor and all the other films, and then we went into Infinity War. So in between that, whatever was happening on the ground, everything was happening over there because most of the movies were uh
Ragnarok,
was
City, Guardians of
Ragnarok,
the
Guardians of the
Galaxy.
Galaxy. So in between that, yeah, because they were on the run anyway.
Oh, we had Black
Because she
Panther and
was
Spider
helping out
Man.
Captain America.
We had
And
Black
then she
Panther, Spider
disappeared, and I
Man.
guess, yeah.
What else we have? But yeah. Oh, that'd be cool.
Which means, in other words, if it's in between that, that means that it was like in yeah, if it's in between, that means it's not going to answer the question. Then nobody's going to get that answer like, oh, how is she back to that, back to life? It's like, because it doesn't take place in that timeline. It's
Gotta
kind of
see
like
what
when
happened in Budapest.
yeah, well, hopefully we get that, but I don't think Renner is going to be in it.
Well, apparently he's still casted for Hawkeye.
Yeah, he still is, because I mean he just did the Hawkeye TV show and with Haley Stanfield.
And they're not gonna change all that crap yet.
Huh?
And they're not gonna change the whole actor. So
Yeah.
with what happened after the information that we got right after. But yeah. Well, if we have nothing else to talk about, I guess we should here, right? Why am I pinned? I didn't even know that was a pin. Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining the podcast. We're in Facebook as Geek Mythos Podcast, Instagram as Geek Mythos Podcast, Twitter on Mythos_Geek. I don't know. I tried to put just Geek Mythos, but it didn't let me. I think it's taken from a guy that started Geek Mythos as a podcast. Doesn't have the podcast name on the title. But he stopped doing it after like 5 episodes, I believe. I did a little digging. I think it's like a red and black kind of icon that he uses. We
I
have a
wonder
blue,
if how
black, and red.
long can they stay with that until we could take it, you know?
I don't know.
Because if he's not doing anything with it,
Yeah,
what's the point of having it?
it's nice to
Imagine
have.
he just keeps paying that same bill over and over. It's like, I'll do something with this.
He ain't gonna do nothing. Well, Twitter's free for him to have. You know what I'm saying? Everything else, I think I basically like took over.
Yeah.
Especially TikTok. And oh yeah, we're not gonna talk about the merch yet because we are having merch, but I just wanted to test out the shirts because I don't know if it's gonna look good or bad. I don't want to put it out in like a link yet because again I don't want to give anybody a really crappy cloth
Material. Yeah. You
material.
don't want
Yeah,
to,
I
yeah.
want to test it out first, so I want to see how that is and which one I like the most. Hopefully
Yeah,
the
the
shirt
first thing
fits.
you do is wear it, then then wash it to see how it would look when you finish washing it.
I
Because
need to. I always do that with my shirts and
yeah,
pants, because pants
yeah,
sometimes feel like jeans. They feel like very, just stiff. So you gotta wash them.
yeah. No, I agree. Because sometimes I wear, like, you buy jeans and then they feel comfortable. Then when you wash them, they're like, what the hell happened to my pants? Did they shrink? And it just starts to feel tight. And then shirts the same way. like either they get smaller or they get wider on the side for some strange reason. And then when you're wearing it, it's like not even touching you. It's like hovering, like it's like on the
Yeah.
side. So yeah, it's like certain materials like Hanes shirts are usually good.
I
Well,
like
some Hanes
Hanes
shirts.
boxers. Hanes boxers are clutch. The flexible ones? Just saying. Just saying. Hey, not
I
sponsored,
say
but they can use the
underwear
sponsor.
is always, I don't know, underwears are always good. It's just shirts, the shirts and
Yeah.
it's usually
Hey.
the shirts that usually
It's usually the
expand
shirts,
or they
man.
shrink. Yeah.
Especially how they feel. If they feel like very kind of like stiff, you definitely gotta put that bitch in a fucking washer.
Yeah.
And so we'll let you know, but the package doesn't come until July 2nd. So that'll be a while. I don't even think we're gonna even talk about it on July 2nd. What day is July 2nd? Let me I believe it is a Friday, so I'll tell you how it feels off of the packaging, but I'm probably not gonna tell you until after that week, so that the 9th, to see if I want to have it or not, or I want to test another company out. You can also find us on TikTok as Geek Mythos Odd? Geek Mythos. I think it's just Geek Mythos. And did I say Twitter already? Yeah. Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, Amazon
iTunes.
Music /podcast. And there's another company that also wants us to put it on our podcast on theirs, because they also do like mini clips. But we used to do that. We don't do that anymore. But I'll see.
Mhm.
I'll see. I'll see. We might do SoundCloud too, but I don't know if I can do that yet with the website I have. I mean, I should, but I don't know. With that being said, have a good night and stay safe, everybody. Have anything else to say, Joe? Nothing?
Night, people.
This guy's sleepy. So am I. Peace. Yeah, good night, Geek God. I forgot to say that.
Huh?
No, I always say good night, Geek God, so I forgot to say
Oh.
that.